Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome to the farm, and starting up a very exciting year here. We're going to go ahead and convert ourselves to some cotton. Alright, I do have to be careful because I do have the water in my greenhouse is getting pretty low. I'm probably going to just take care of that because I know how life works. It's just going to turn into a mess here. And I'll forget, I won't be able to get to it for a few days, and then we're going to have a problem. So, let me connect up here. We'll just dump this into the first one. We'll also fill it up as it goes, so that will help. Yeah, the issue ends up being that we need to get, now it's going to start doing that, filling up, but in the meantime, let's head on over here and get over to our planters. So I'm going to do what I can to keep the actual seeder I have, because I still think it's good to have the option if I want to go a different route to have some other crops. And I noticed again I was set on the funds that I have for the VIP series in Italy, so that was in euros, but back to dollars here. So 255,000. Let's see if we customize. Alright, so that just gives us different wheels, but I don't know that that makes any sense. Wing options. Let's see. It's either got weights or it's stock. I don't know that the weights help. They don't appear to change the actual weight of the thing, but in theory then they do something. Alright, so I think that will work. While this now fills this one, I'm going to grab the other tractor, because this is the one I need to get to be able to haul the other implement. So I'm going to head up to the store, and we're going to at least come down here and get that going. But the challenge is going to be, because now I have solid fert, I don't have liquid fert, I also don't have a tanker to bring liquid fert, so this is going to become interesting here. I mean, I could just fertilize with the other stuff for now, like maybe this year that's what I'll do, is I'll plant and then I'll go over the rest of the field with a solid fertilizer. Because I'm guessing I'm not going to get very far with the liquid fert and not having anything here. I'm going to have to take a look at that, because that's one thing I didn't think of, because I don't know that I knew offhand that that would be my issue. And I also just took a quick peek at the map to see if people were expanding their land or not, or if they're just kind of sticking with what they have. You know, we could obviously also get an FM on here that then that shows up and takes things. That's the other challenge we've potentially got. But given that this is in essence the original Farmers Only Club map, I talked about that in the early days here on Farmers Only Club, because I don't know that I knew that. Well, I know I didn't know this, because thank goodness I have enough of my mental capability left in my brain that I remember what I actually don't know, as opposed to, having some sort of dementia or something where I I don't know that, and that's normal or whatever. But anyway, so, and there we go. There's the perfect example of not remembering what I'm talking about. But no, yes, when I joined Farmers Only Club, I found out Hobo's Hollow, which is this map, it was actually created by someone who's in the administrative functions here, so that they had a map to use here in Farmers Only Club, and that at the initial rollout of Farmers Only Club, that was the only map available. Everybody was on Hobo's Hollow. So I would think, other than some new folks coming in here and joining and never having seen the map, kind of like I hadn't in the other situation. Oops, am I too far forward? Yeah. Alright. Like, it gave me the thing where I can connect, so I would think I'd be okay. Let's see. Oh, are we gonna play this game again where I can't open things? Oh, there we go. It's the Z key. Alright, thank goodness. So now I should be able to fill. Oops. If I hit the right button, I can fill. Right, because a lot of times it's the N key, but it was not in this case. I need this. Alright, so I'm gonna buy one of those, and then it should let me just pull up next to it and then fill it from there. That's better. Ay, ay, ay. So it'll let me fill it because it's 1514. So let me get back to the farm and we'll see how far this takes us, because if the fertilizer, sometimes the liquid fert isn't too terribly bad. I mean, the other problem I have is I don't know, compared to, say, grains, what cotton is going to take based on that. Although, once again, it's because we don't have precision farming, we still, you know, have an issue. But what I'm trying to avoid is plant and then fertilize. You know, I have to fertilize twice, because then it just takes even longer to get things done. And once again, this is the big challenge here with the farm. But I'm going to start with the small field. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I can always put something on there. I just don't know. I don't think the water tanker that I have will take liquid fert. I'm going to have to take a look at that, because it's possible, like, if it'll bring 7,000 liters with, you know, then maybe I can run that up and that might work. Because I'm imagining that at most I'd need 2 of those to get through everything, if I even need that much. It obviously remains to be seen. But let me get there, get set up, and we'll get going and see what this all looks like. Alright, so we're going to unfold. Actually did alright with aligning here. Wow, you can see this takes a bit of time. And that is similar to the other John Deere and whatever. Because the other benefit with the repair station, like, I can always change things out. So compared to my planter, this is a little over 20% larger too, because this is 18.3 meters versus 15. Alright, so it's not pouring fertilizer out. That's always a good sign. I did not get to the lime again, although while I'm trying to remember, did I put lime on it? See, I don't even remember. I'm like so busy with things. Did I put lime on the field? No. Okay. So this will be a year that's not great. But again, I just need to get crop in the ground. But then next year we'll throw lime on it, and that will help increase the yield some as well. But, you know, this should then hopefully go a little bit quicker, because the other thing I'm unclear, I'll look when I go the other way. I don't remember if planters are a little bit faster as well. Somehow I vaguely recall that. Alright, it takes a bit of time to put it down. I hit the key at near the edge of the field, and it took that long to lower it. So yes, it's also up. It can go 18 kilometers an hour versus 15, so it's also basically a 20% speed increase as well. So we've got 20% more width, 20% greater speed. So all of that should help. Alright, unfortunately the tanker is just water, so that isn't an option. And at this point, you know, because the thing is, like, it's not the end of the world to drive up there to get my liquid fertilizer, you know, and at least I'm using basically 75% of the IBC to go ahead and fill this up, so I should never really have more than one sitting there. I'm not sure. Maybe if I do B and, you know, let's just turn it on and off instead of lift it up and down, but that's opposite of what I normally see. Again, I put it down and it didn't make it. So, you know, the problem is, like, fertilizer then will run off the field. That's another downside of not having precision farming here in Farmers Only Club. Like, with that, you're not wasting that material. So the big challenge here is I have not gotten very far and I'm already down to 75%, so I don't know that I can even get this small field done. So let's see if I turn it on. Yeah, that works better. So I could just do on and off, and then I'm not going to be wasting the time that I was picking things up and down. Alright, so I think I'm definitely chewing through supply pretty quickly, and I just think it's going to be crazy to keep trying to haul stuff back and forth. At this point, I've looked at several options, so there's a potential liquid trailer that would handle multiple things. It would be about 15,000 liters. I could move it with a truck, so I could use my truck to go ahead and move it around. But it's going to cost me, I think, 30,000. And right now, between what I need for the harvester and the trailer, that would be too much. I'm not going to make that much on the greenhouses between now and harvest time. So I'm just driving up and down, refilling this right now, because it's really the only option I've got at this point. So I am going to go ahead, but that's what I finished on the field before I ran out of, actually I ran out of seed. I had about 90 liters of fertilizer remaining. But I'm going to go ahead and get these fields done with the first planting and so forth. Probably going to have to go to the store at least 2 more times, is my guess here. You know, we will be done, but at least I'll have cotton going, and I may have to figure out something, because I'm still not sure. The harvester is 480,000, but that's without GPS and so forth, so definitely not quite where I would have liked to have been. I mean, the straw is done, the BGA has produced all the cash it's going to produce at this point, so we're going to figure out what things look like later this season, but for now I'm going to step away and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, well, we're back here. We have cotton, but we have rain too, so in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and go figure out how we're going to get this harvester. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we quite have as much cash as I was hoping, but that'll be okay. We can do a little bit of a loan here, I think. We shouldn't have any problem being able to do that in-game, and then we'll just have to obviously pay it back. Alright, so there's not really much we can do here. So we're at 485, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy this. Whoops, that's right. I need the money first. But let me see. I need 485, and then I'm going to need what I need for the trailer, which I think is 46. So yes, it's 46,000, so, you know, we can only do... So it's 485. That'll be 534. Whoops. How did it do that? Alright, so I can repay. There we go. 534, 262. We're going to go ahead, and I'm not going to add GPS at this point because I'm going to have the harvest happen with a helper. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this. And then while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and buy this. All right, and then we're going to hop over here. We're going to get this, and then we'll come back and get that when we need to. I forgot I got my IBC here, but I'm going to get this over to the farm. And we can't harvest yet, but we're going to get the equipment over as much as we can, and once the rain stops and I'm able to give this some attention, I will get the harvest moving along. So I will see you in a bit, but we now officially have what we need, I believe, unless I'm forgetting something, to do cotton. And I've done cotton in Farming Simulator before, so pretty comfortable I haven't forgotten something, but you never know. So I'll see you in a bit. So I am now starting work on 36. Field 35 has been harvested. And definitely, cotton, as I figured, this is definitely going to be an AI helper thing. Because you got to keep in mind, these are 6-meter wide harvesters, that's it. And so it takes some time. I think it took about 3 hours to do the north field, so it's going to likely take longer than that to do this one. This is only the third pass or so, and it's probably been, I don't know, 10 minutes. And part of it is with the helpers, like it just takes them a long time to turn around here on the end. But realistically, to be able to do this, I really can't do anything else. I just don't have the time to devote to that with everything else going on. So I pop back in because I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to sell these bales. So if I look, we're here in October. In theory, it'll go a little bit higher. But if I look at these, like, we're basically at 1,300 here at Hobos, which is, again, great. Like, I can sell it right there. Let me look where Bubba Gump's market is. All right, so Bubba Gump's market is there. It's just good to know. I don't know. I may go that far over. We'll see. So the benefit here is, I can do this with a truck, so I can go a lot faster. Not that I'm... Well, I guess I could do the other deliveries with a truck, so I don't know what I'm talking about. That's exactly my point. I can barely pay attention to the world as it sits. So I'm just trying desperately to get this done. It may have been... I don't think it could have harvested yesterday. I didn't check. I came in here in August to fertilize. So it is fully fertilized. Obviously, I don't have the lime. But at this point up here... Oh, I have to go get the trailer from the store. So let me go do that, and I'll be back. So the challenge here, I think I did bring up the point as I was considering this last year about whether I was going to do cotton. Like, is there something I don't know about the round bales and whatever? This was kind of the piece that people pointed to, is that basically... you just kind of drive up to the bales and they're easier to pick up and whatever. Where here you've got to kind of play this game and get close and hope that you've got it. So you can see we got 3 bales. Each of the bales are 20,000 liters. So at 1,300, basically we're 60,000. 60,000. Or, let's say 20,000 and then another 30%. So each bale should be about $27,000. So the challenge I've got that may not be as obvious here is at this point I've got a lot of loan because I needed a loan for the equipment. But then as soon as I started running it, I had like 3,000 left because remember I just kind of got enough. So I'm going to run this to Bubba Gump's because I don't think it's too bad. And yes, I've got the AI, for whatever reason, went down the first row. then backed all the way up, then did a little part of the second row down there, and then did everything. So I'm going to have to get that last bit at the end, but that's not going to make up a bale or whatever. But, you know, here I have 40,000 liters. We talked about that the other bales, the round bales, are 10,000 liters, and the biggest trailer is 5 bales. So it's not like we're going to get more, and I'm usually pretty good at backing up the truck. You saw that went pretty quickly. I've used this setup before, so I certainly understand kind of, you know, where you need to touch the bale and this and that. So as long as I'm not rushing, it's usually not that bad. But from field 36, I think there's actually an easier way to get here, because like right now I've got to go here but then go down. So yeah, lots of saw stuff here. This is the one who's, you know, they're cutting the trees over there, so he's kind of got the logging operation, and that seems to be kind of what they're doing, is just cutting the forest. Again, not my cup of tea. I don't enjoy logging at all. I don't know, maybe if I learned how to use that equipment better, I would. But Bubba Gump's is this location here, which I was taking things for, I think for Lomeric I was running the milk down and so forth. So there should be, there we go, it's on that side. I'm like, there should be somewhere to go ahead. Was it milk that it was going here? I don't know. I swear I was taking something here. So I should, in theory, be able to dump these out. I'm assuming I need to put them there. We'll see. So we're going to unload the bales, and hopefully they'll get sold. So let's see. If not, I can always pick them up again. Alright, no, one went, and there we go. So I'm almost right. It's pretty close. And again, it might have dropped, and again, it's not like it's 1,333, it was 1,334. But at this point, yeah, I'm gonna, whoops, well, that's not what I wanted to do. So let me go around. I just basically need to shove that onto the sell point, and then it'll go. So what I probably need to do is be further forward so that the bale, the last bale, kind of comes out there, and then basically when it first comes out, it will probably work just fine. So let me get that there. There we go, 26,626. And it's still 1324. But, you know, the challenge is, can I get enough here to pay off the loan? I'm hoping I can, but I'm probably going to use $30,000 or $40,000 to pay the AI helper to go ahead and do that. But once again, I got 50,000, over 50,000 off those 2 bales, and let's take a peek. You know, and not everything is going in, but I've got 18,000 in wages, and again, 36 has been done. There's a bale already sitting on 36 because I had almost 17,000. So aside from the 3 bales on that field, I got 17,000 from the other. You know what? I can go back here, and then that will show you what I'm thinking. So let me go down here. Because what I can do, if you remember, we have those fields over on the side that we were working for Lomeric. That was kind of my first introduction to this server, was, I think, plowing one field over here. And again, this is field 1 that he does the whatchamacallit, the cotton on. And he's got a round bale sitting out there. But there's these fields, and then obviously we've got this patch in between that we could certainly drive on. Silos. I saw there was other stuff over there. Okay, so they're doing cotton, round cotton. People seem to like the round cotton. You know, and again, maybe I'll do that at some point, but right now, not terribly interested in that. Oh, I saw the white. I was like, is it limed? And I think it is limed, but so yeah, looks like he's got straw to pick up if he wants. So he could certainly keep himself pretty busy, but that field across the way is 36. So basically to get to Bubba Gump's is just straight over that way. So that was why I was like, you know, I can do that. Because now I can pick up the 2, that'll get me another 50, and so at that point I'm probably comfortable enough to pay off the loan, because that's going to leave me 25,000, so the harvester could run all that it already did, and I'd still have enough money. So I've kind of breathed a sigh of relief, that this wasn't as big of a disaster as I thought, because initially I'm like, oh my goodness, and I'm like, I really don't want to manually drive this, because again, I just don't have the time to do it. And I could wait a little bit and get maybe another 100 per, but there we go. So, and now we'll go get the other bale up there, and I'll be able to make another trip, and then we'll have made, you know, over $100,000 already. Now again, that's not full profit because I've put stuff in, you know, but I'll see what that looks like toward the end, and then we'll go from there. So we're kind of running this over a bit. But, yeah, point being, again, we had like 77,000 liters off of here, which would be maybe 90,000. Maybe it was a little bit less, you know, it's hard to say, but 90,000, and we probably used 15,000 to harvest it. So we still made a net immediately of 75, which again would then be used to pay other expenses, the seed and all the other things we did on the field. But offhand, I'm feeling pretty good about this decision, because I think it will prove to be exactly what I thought it was. You know, and so normally I probably wouldn't be delivering these as I am, but because I'm just basically trying to see where things sit, and I have some time to look at it, I figured I'd go ahead and do that. So you can see, like, it hasn't yet dropped another bale. So that's the nice thing with these. You know, you don't need a ton of things, so at the end of the day, like, yes, it's more trips, I guess I would say, because I'm whatchamacallit, I am now taking my second trip, where normally with grain I just did 2 trips and that I sold my entire crop, you know, and it was 150,000. So that's the thing, like, if we just kind of think through the basics, you know, I would sell maybe 100 and, or no, I guess it was 200 some thousand, because I'd get like, so it was almost 250,000, and then I would be selling it about 600, 700, 1,000. You know, so we're talking about 120,000 or whatever, and I'm basically at that point here. You know, maybe 140,000, 150,000, but I'm pretty comfortable, like, I'm going to get at least 2 more bales and then some. So if nothing else, I'm not losing any money with what I did, but the benefit is I can now do the harvest just that way with AI, and I couldn't have done that with the grain because I need to unload it and so forth every 10,000, and so you can't do that, doesn't work with AI. So let me see if this process or this theory works here, but basically what I'm thinking is I position myself, again, the challenge is I'm going to have to kind of get myself in the right position so that it's on the sell point and it's pushing out where it should be, but I think that's good. And then I just unload. And so what my thought is when the one bale comes out and hits the ground, like it'll be at the sell point and it'll sell, and then the other one will come out. Well, maybe I'm going to be proven wrong. Wow, I am surprised. Oh no, okay, they both went. Cool. Alright, so there is a way, because I'm like, if I got to go around and push it, not that it's the end of the world, but that just seems annoying. So, alright, but that did work. So there we go, 53,363. So if I'm, still trying to get used to this process. So let me go over here. But my point was that normally I just let the harvester harvest everything, and then I'll just go pick up the bales and deliver them at some point, because I could just leave them laying there for another couple months until we get to the high point. And I may do that with the remainder, I guess, because what I can do at this point is see, like, will I end up above 150,000 by the time it's done harvesting? So meaning, will I use another 30,000 in wages? And if I don't, then I could wait for those other bales to just be at a high sell point. So maybe I'll try that. See how things feel, because I'm trying to think a couple months, like, yeah, that will be the weekend, so I should be able to then come in and pick up a couple bales and deliver it. So it shouldn't be too bad. But, you know, really the reason I was driving toward this is it fits into the busyness that I have of yet still keeping this farm active. But this is, once again, one of the real benefits, and now I really get the feel for it now that life's gotten kind of insane. I'm just hopping back in to see where we're at. Whoop, he must have dropped another one just back there somewhere. It just must have vanished because we're only at 1,300. So that means we already got another bale. So we're going to, I wouldn't be surprised if we get 4 or 5 more bales off of here. So at this point, I've gotten 106,000, let's say. You know, and we'll get things in pretty good shape. I mean, I think I'm going to get at least another 4 bales in total, and then that would get me 200,000 versus, say, the 140, 150. And yeah, I'm probably then just breaking even with the paying the AI wages for the harvester in the end. And then it just becomes I'm paying for material out of 150,000, but it just fits into what I need to do because this harvester can just run. Like, I could not do that with a regular grain harvester because it has to get unloaded, but this unloads itself because it's not going into a truck, so there's not another vehicle that needs to come alongside it or anything. But this is one of the benefits here that I thought I would enjoy, because in FOC, in Farmers, in FSN, in Farmers Simulation Network, or whatever the heck FSN stands for, I don't even remember. I think it's Farming Simulator Network, but it would, AI work was banned, which I never entirely understood, because again, it's not inexpensive. Like, if people want to do it, like, why not? Because it's technically, I don't know, and maybe it's tweaked here in FOC, but at 8,000 an hour, when you could pay a contractor 5, like if someone wanted to use AI instead of paying for a contractor, would it cost them more money? Like, people would probably choose to do that less often, because I think that was the reason that I heard that they didn't want people doing that, is they wanted more opportunity for people to be able to actually play on the servers and not just have folks just keep throwing things out to AI. But if we chose to do that, like, why not? Because that's the economy we in essence have here. Like, I could hire a contractor, even though the going rate is typically higher. I mean, most people are paying 10,000 or whatever, but this is also then why Merrick will say, well, unless I'm just feeling charitable or I just like the person that I have contracting, you know, if I'm paying them the going rate, like, it's cheaper for me to use AI. Where in FSN it was the opposite, or would have been the opposite, so I don't understand, unless, again, the AI cost is jacked up here, but I've not heard that that was the case. But you can see, things tick away pretty quick. I can't imagine it's going to cost $30,000 in wages, but that remains to be seen. But at this point, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And like I said, I'm certainly leaning toward, at this point, just letting it finish, letting the bales sit on the field, and then getting the highest price I can. It would just be nice if I could get rid of the loan. And even if I can't get rid of the entire loan, I might be able to get really close, and then if I just have a few thousand left, then hopefully the greenhouse over time will get me that in the next few days, and that might work. But I'll make a better decision once I see where it sits, once this field is picked up. There's the bale, just showed up. So, right at the border of the field almost. And then we will connect up, and the nice thing is that'll really be the end for the year, because at this point I'm not dropping any straw that I need to bale and pick up and so forth. So I think I'm liking what this is, and then we'll just keep growing into things over the years as we get enough funds to buy other things. But I will see you in a bit. Back here, I need to go get my my trailer, pick up my bales. I got lucky. It's a day past where I really should be, but the price is still up there. You'll notice a weird setup here where I've got a truck and a harvester. I actually had to push this from over in the corner of the field. It ran out of fuel. So basically, I think the automation got hung up somewhere and it just kept running. I don't know if I was paying individual, the AI, as well. So let me go find the trailer. It's been several days. I don't remember where I put it. Oh, there it is. Never mind. But it's at like $13.85 at Bubba. So we're still seeing that being a little bit more. I think here at Hobo's it's $13.71. Not really a reason to not go over there. The other thing... Oh, why am I doing this? I can't take this with the tractor. So that was just a giant waste of time now. Before I get too far, let me try to think. No, I still need things at the other end, because the other thing I need to do is I need to line both of these fields. And the benefit I have is, as opposed to planting oats or something, that it would be planting time. I've got a couple more months till May till I can actually plant cotton again. But the nice thing is we're going to be able to get some things done pretty... or get some money in here pretty substantially, I think. So, I got this. I ended up not grabbing the ones, so I did have the one row of cotton that I showed you. Would have ended up... So, heading over with the first couple bales over to Bubba's. So yeah, initially when I was coming in here, my thought was, you know, I'm just going to leave the bales. I'll pick them up off the field, obviously, but I was just going to leave them somewhere on the side until I could get to a higher month. But March basically caps itself and keeps the price kind of at the peak level, so I did get lucky that basically February and March are our best options. And actually, March is probably the best thing to do, because February has kind of the largest price fluctuation of the entire year. So I think unless I would have been selling late in February, I don't know that I'd be at the same level. I might have had to wait anyway. So, overall, luck has been with me here, because it's been one of those where I just got absorbed in some flight simulator stuff, just trying a bunch of different things out, and ended up not getting to this. And it was kind of like, you know, I need to pay attention a little bit, and, you know, here I am. And it worked out. Alright, so let's see. I'm hoping it will go ahead and find them, otherwise I'm going to have to do some pushing again. Ooh. I probably will. Well, no, it grabbed the one. Just don't know that it'll grab the other. But yeah, we're getting 30,000 instead of... I think I was getting like 26, so... You know, 4,000 a bale is nothing to sneeze at. I got 5 bales out there that I've seen, so... Oh, interesting. So I wonder if it grabbed part of the other one? I don't know. You saw it too. I know you did. So why was one 30,000 and one 26,000? Interesting. I think last time when I drove through here, Lomeric had... All the fields had straw on there, so he's collecting the straw, doing whatever he's doing with it. It's just kind of this quarter, because he's got, well, I guess he did a little bit of this, but he didn't go straight across and get all of it. You know, but this was kind of my point here, is getting to Bubba's isn't that hard, and it's basically Bubba's and Hobo's Hollow are the places I can sell. So there's nothing... So yeah, I think those are the only 3 left. I haven't seen any more. Almost certain I got rid of everything up top. I know I did, because there were only 3 bales. I had gotten like 77,000 liters off. So let me get these last ones sold. We'll see where we're at, and then all I've got left to do is lime, but the year is basically over, so I'll come back in here to wrap things up once I have the final price. Alright, so kind of swinging through the pit seems a little better. It's going to be getting used to how to deliver these, because I did have to push the other bale. So they're basically about 56,000 or something between the two. So there you go, it's like 28,000. So it was $13.94 is what it was, but that is our total, just $1 short of $158,000 is what we have. So yeah, so the other kind of unique features that I had, so in pushing that harvester over, first off, I really don't want to have that happen ever again. You know, the challenge ends up being, again, the vehicle to fill things in the field is like 150,000. So it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, given that all my fields are right around there. You know, maybe one of these days if I have extra money laying around, but right now, once again, I'm trying to expand the operation. It'd be nice to maybe have a couple harvesters so things can go quicker. Be possible then to get more land, but the harvester also clearly uses, whoops, a lot of fuel. Again, I went between these trees before, but clearly I went in another location. So the harvester running out of fuel is kind of a result of just getting through field 36 takes that much fuel, because the harvester's running for 4 or 5 hours. So it's definitely a longer period of time to harvest, but because I'm using AI, it doesn't entirely much matter, unless of course it gets stuck the way it did. Then it does matter. Alright, so we'll see. I had left this here before, thinking I'd be okay, and I wasn't, because there is no real point of running through with the expensive tractor if I don't need to. So don't necessarily need fuel, but I definitely want to repair here. So let me do that real quick. Alright, so nearly 12,000 in repair for that tractor. Fun stuff, although while I'm here, I'm probably just going to go ahead and fill up. Pushing this over wouldn't be too bad, but just not worth it. So, but what I ended up having to do, because it was so heavy, I tried with my big tractor. It really wouldn't do much. And then moving it with the truck worked, but I had to put it into manual mode, so as I was driving over to get the trailer, I was suddenly like, I can't get up to the top speed, what's going on? And that was because I was stuck in 9th gear, which is what I manually was doing at the end when I got really close. Once I crossed the street, I was able to go a little bit quicker. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, put this, dump that out. I don't need fertilizer right now. I need lime. It's always curious because this is not enough space to unload, but then it does okay. Like, I clearly have none, so it did it. Alright, and the good news is I should have plenty of material for these fields now. I made maybe 200,000 in sales. I didn't do a great job at tracking this time. Again, time caused me to focus on speed rather than detail. So I barely had time to get in and get things completed, and so I did a really bad job at grabbing my costs and so forth. I'll try to do a better job this year, or the coming year here. But should be all set. There we go. So the difference with the lime is it doesn't spread as wide, probably because it's finer powder and so forth. The granules are smaller. I don't know if you've ever seen lime compared to chemical fertilizer. Fertilizer is a bit heavier, and so I'm sure then the idea is that the discs that spin and throw can therefore throw something with a little bit more mass, a little wider. Because I think if I remember correctly, this is like a 12-meter spread for lime, and it's like an 18-meter spread for fertilizer. So it takes a little bit longer to get this done, but at this point I'm going to go ahead and do that. But the nice thing is, you know, I've got enough supply because of what I did a year or two ago where I basically topped everything off. So the 120,000 liters of lime should be plenty to get me done here. It'll be an interesting thing to look at because it'll let me know, you know, can I get a couple of years done? I'm not sure that I can, honestly, with the silo that I have. I think it gets me maybe a year and a little bit more. So there's definitely some things I still will get to learn, which is part of what I've always said in these series, or just even with Farming Simulator. You know, just how you're working. There's always little nuances you're picking up here and there. And once again, I'm over a decade into this farm, and, you know, still learning things about lime, which, you know, is not something I would suddenly started doing with the cotton. You know, you could make the argument, well, you know, I didn't know how long a cotton harvest would take because I hadn't done one on these fields. Now, I will say it did take longer than I expected. The other thing, unfortunately, that I was unable to get is it's already enough months removed that the financial statement does not show the wages for the AI to do the harvesting. So I'm going to have to wait for next cycle, because I think it was September or October that I ended up doing it, and it just goes back to November. So I don't have anything there. But as long as I keep the greenhouses topped up, which at this point I should be good for a while. I'm pretty close. I almost ran out. I think I was down to a couple $1,000s when I came in here the last time in whatever it was, November, December, when I sold it. And sold those first bales to go ahead and basically get rid of my loan. I mean, the nice thing was, yes, I never paid any loan interest because in that day I got done. But with the bales, you know, it looks like, yes, on these fields, I'm getting about $50,000 more. So with the AI, I may not be making a whole lot more, but it is just at least much more doable than the other type of harvest that I had. So, pretty sure I'm going to stick with this pretty consistently and become a cotton grower. Whoops, it's just a question of how much do I grow. But if you've not watched the lime, I don't know that I've showed a ton of it. You can see, you know, maybe I'll get 3 passes done here which is not that much. And then I'm already going to need to go get another 11,000 liters of lime to continue the work. But I've got a little bit of time here ahead of me, probably an hour or so, I think, if I remember correctly, to get these fields done. Although I've never done them together. But this will help drive the yield up, so then I'll get even more than the 50,000 more over the highest of what I got with the oats. So with that, I think I'm in good shape here. We've got another year in the books, but a big year, a year when we change the complexion of the farm and move to something entirely different. But it's the shape of things to come. Next thing we're saving up for is to get ourselves a spinnery, which we might be able to do in a few years, and that should just kind of jack things up a little bit. It just becomes more the question then, am I going to be able to process the cotton that I have with a single spinnery, or what does that turn into? So it's kind of the art of figuring out what I need to size things to keep things moving as efficiently as possible. But that's what we're looking forward in the years to come. Hope you've enjoyed the journey thus far in this year. If you have and you have not dropped a like in the video, please consider doing that. It greatly helps with reach of the channel and people seeing what's going on. So I would appreciate that. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider that as well. And I will go ahead and I will see you next time.